Island Railroad. We're in Chicago on the Mississippi River map, playing an 1850 start in hard mode. Here we are at Chicago Grand Central Station, backed up onto, well, what would be Lakeshore Drive. Here's the Loop Exchange. Do we have a bus stop on Lakeshore? Yes, we do. You know what? No, we need the stop. Where's the stop? No, that's just the tram. Do we not have a stop down here on Lakeshore Drive? No, we don't. We're going to have to add one, just so we can name the street Lakeshore Drive. Alright, so we have the Rock Island line coming in. We're about to hit 30 million in the bank. My apologies to the people who joined the stream earlier. We had the settings cranked up to very hard all the way as part of the video that we put out called Very Hard Passenger Only, where we showed you how you can successfully, on a random map, pick any 3 cities, set up a route, and have passenger service flowing even on very hard mode in an 1850 start. Now, it's not passenger train only. It's primarily passenger service. You still have to have buses or an 1850 wagons and coaches hauling people. By the way, this is the second Chicago station. The game started expanding out the town from South Shore and the west side. In the southwest side of town, they keep building out here. We're going to have to give it a name. And now we're picking up and delivering passengers this way too. Alright, let's see. We're about to hit 30 mil, which still isn't back at the 50 mil, but it's brought us back from the almost 30 million this white elephant cost us to build here. I mean, we're only using one track of one station. We need to get working. We got to get the North Shore line going. We've got to get the Milwaukee Road coming down here into Chicago. There is a lot of stuff to do back here. Unfortunately, none of that is going to touch the Mississippi River in any way, but it will make other cities on the map bigger, and hopefully that will increase the demand. How many people did we leave in that freight yard? We left 50 people. Where do they want to go? They all want to go down the line. We could have another train just picking up at the freight yard. Okay, well, how about in Chicago? Chicago Grand Central Station. She's got 17. There are more people waiting at the place where they're not supposed to wait than are waiting in the giant station that we built. That's just crazy. And there's probably a train waiting up here. Yes, it is. Well, we cannot double track this segment. It's a tunnel. We are running single tracks through tunnels only. I mean, we can put a siding across here to get people down to the bridge a little better. But you know, as of right now, well, it's actually an aqueduct. But let's see which way looks better. Let's get people down here a little bit. Give them a bit of a siding. Our goal right now is to keep our expenses as low as possible, or rather our outflow of cash. We still need that huge chunk of money to cross the Mississippi. And if we don't come up with it, we're not going to be able to cross the Mississippi. You know, we cannot build the bridge halfway. Get rid of that stub. You know, that stub would actually look cool. Let's take it out to here. There you go. Just leave it there. Alright, we need a couple signals. Set them to one way, yes. The one going out. The one coming in. And clear the bridge and waiting to cross the bridge. Alright, now you get across the aqueduct. You come down here. And you've got a bypass right there, so we're good. Hopefully that'll improve the flow of trains. I mean, if we have to and we see a huge backlog or a potential for profit, we'll throw another line on here. However, 260 out of 280, boy, that says throw another train on there. Especially given the number of people waiting. You know what, get the 35 and then we'll buy another train. Let's do that. Hey, we've got ourselves a viewer. Thanks for joining. Any comments, suggestions? Any specific direction you'd like to see some building done, feel free to type in, chat, include any backstreet, or is it backstreet? No, that's the Backstreet Boys. Any backseat suggestions. But let's see what we can do over at the river, because the river, as monstrosity as it is in terms of size and the width of it, it's what this map was built to focus on, and we are still woefully underutilizing it. So we need a passenger. Well, the bridge is going to be here. So we could put the passenger service so that it's close to the bridge. Yeah, we could. Well, the train station's all the way back here. Yeah, I have a bus roundabout, so it's not going to be a problem to get bus service. We could put it anywhere it looks the best. So let's see. We want a. We're going to have, how many stops are we going to have here? We're going to go up. Well, that's the same line though. Yes, we're going to have going up to Mississippi, up to Minneapolis. Yeah. And then we're going to have going down to St. Louis. Okay. We're not going to go over to Rock Island because we're running a train. Okay. And then we're going to, are we running a train up here to Dubuque? Or La Crosse? Is La Crosse close to Bloomington? Yeah, it's very close to Bloomington. I mean, they could... Yeah, you know, if we put a ferry here, I would say we would run La Crosse into Bloomington before we ran it down here. Yeah, but what about Dubuque? I don't know, maybe run it down to here. But we're definitely going to go to St. Louis. I guess we should go to Cedar Rapids. How many people are waiting here right now? 15 to go down to Evansville, 16 to go across to Collinsville, 20 now, and no one wanting to take the big trip north or south. That's one consistent thing that we have. We built the Mississippi River, and no one wants to take the large river cruise runs. 31 people. Well, the ferry holds, this is the SS Ethel Evans. She holds 70, so we're not tasking these ferries at all. Well, they are scrambling to get out of there. Okay. I guess we'll just, we could do a single pier stop. Yeah, keep the cost down, pal. We're trying to, one terminal. No, because then it's the same stop. And we want our, yeah, that's what we want. We want our passenger lines to be out on a pier, because we're going to run along the shoreline for our freight. And we want the stations to be distinctly different. So, here we go. Let's, yeah, how are we going to get down here? We're going to need a bus stop. Yeah. Not a tram? No. How big is the road? That big. Yeah, that is the road. Okay. So let's get down here. Is that good? That is scary good. Okay, now connect to here. I mean, that works. Yeah, there's something I'm doing wrong with the USA roads that we're not getting the. Is this a country road? Is that why it has striping in it? And the city road does not. No, this is definitely town road here. You know what? Connect this up too. Okay, so buses come down here, and we're going to take them out that way. So now we have a loop around, yeah, Davenport Loop. So let's check our bus service now. Let's see, we got Davenport 1 and 2. Where do they go? They're just clockwise and counterclockwise loop around town. Okay, so we could run a loop from here over here to the ferry. And do we want it to stop somewhere? I mean, I guess it could stop these two. No, just run it directly back and forth. Do we need it then to be a... can't be a train station. We need to be a bus stop. Buildings, passengers, people. Okay. So, what do we got going here? We have the, let's see, we have Davenport 1 and 2. It's weird that we colored these at a 0 in front of them. It's the only place we did that in. Maybe that's why we're not getting as many passengers. The people are confused by our naming standard. Alright, give us a new line. And we're going to call it the Davenport Ferry. Ferry, ferry, ferry. Cool. Alright, the Davenport Ferry line. Bus, Davenport Ferry. She's at the bus stop, and she comes down here to the ferry. And then she heads right back. Cool, it's exactly what we want. Alright, let's put 3 or 4 wagons on it. What kind? Well, what do we have in Davenport right now? We're running the Lavasans. So give us 3 more Lavasans. Buy vehicles. Passenger. Give us 3. Maybe, oh, definitely not 5. Let's see what we get. Put them on the ferry line. Alright, we may never see a single passenger on this line. Alright, let's grab the St. Louis ferries. Show us ships. Okay, St. Louis to Minneapolis River line. You know, we went to all the trouble grabbing it this way. Manage the line. Okay, she's going to be in Bloomington. Alright, we got to time this up a little better. She's in St. Louis, and then she comes here. Okay. Now she makes it up to Bloomington, and then she stops here. Over on track 2, port 2. Yeah, she comes down here, hits the pier, leaves and heads back down. Okay. So now our express from St. Louis Ferry is no longer an express? Well, that's a really good point. Our ferry from St. Louis to Bloomington, well, it's currently not moving. That's why you're not making any money. We're not watching a train, so slow it down. Our express from, we never called it an express. Our ferry from St. Louis, where is it? Here it is. Where is she going? She's going north. I mean, we could take a ride with her, but we know what's going to happen. She's going to sail up there empty. And we're going to sit here going, why? Why did we do this to ourselves? So we said we're not going to Dubuque. All right, what about to Cedar Rapids, Columbia, Des Moines? Well, you know, this is definitely train service into Salt Lake, St. Louis. Yeah, but what about Cedar Rapids? That's what we're talking about. I would say that's a tough call. Because really, if we give her a ferry, why wouldn't we run the ferry directly into St. Louis? I mean, that's a valid point there. I mean, why would we run that ferry up to here? I mean, there's no reason for that. So I guess at this point, Okay, 35 million and we buy another train. We should be there soon. What else can we do to increase our revenue? Well, earlier today during the very high speed or very hard difficulty goof, gaff, faux pas, whatever, who's building these roads? You know, we specifically selected none of these roads. I guess something's happening and the game is just creating them anyway. Interesting stuff. Alright, how many people are waiting here? 34. And we've got a 22 and 2. another 22 heading south, 43 going north. That looks like a lot of people. I mean, this right here screams get another train on here. We could make the trains bigger, but we really can't because they got to get down to Chicago. Well, don't go down to Chicago. Have the Chicago train come up to Springfield. Yeah, that's not the line. The line is Chicago to it's the Chicago and Rock Island Railroad. It doesn't take you to a bus stop outside of town and tell you to wait here until another bus comes by. 56, 44. That is so weird that they stopped right there. Like we're staring at them. Alright, come on. You can get the 35. Then we get the chance to ride a new train on the line. Yeah, I definitely think we can justify what's going on down here. Alright, how do we bring... I mean, Gary's right here. Where's it? What else we got? Oh, okay, we got Rockford. I mean, there's no reason we're not running a Rockford train into Chicago right now. Yeah, well, Lake Geneva would be the North Shore line. Lake Geneva, Johnsonville, up to Milwaukee, and then Green Bay, out to Madison, Wausau, yeah, Madison, Wausau, Chippewa Falls, Eau Claire. Yeah, but this right here, these are Illinois. Yeah, but this is the North Shore line. Okay, but get people into Chicago. Well, we'll bring Gary in. Let's, where's a good spot for a cheap train station in Gary? Well, we just dipped down. Let's not do another passenger train. Let's get some freight in here. I don't know why we have two sawmills there. That's, I'd have to go back and check the original map and see if the game's throwing them in there on us. Did we mess up a game setting when we switched from the test map? We got to check that out. But what we do have is Milwaukee tools. We know that we can run a really good size lumber train up here. And the Milwaukee woodwork. And we can pull lumber from all the way down here. Yeah, the Rockford Forest. Okay, well, let's do that. Because that ferry line is not... Well, all we did to add that ferry was to put 3 buses in and a stop. We really shouldn't have changed that much. How much could this have cost us? Well, it doesn't matter because all we do is lose money on these ferries. It's the Mississippi River map. We have to run ferries. Is anyone going down to the ferry? That's not the ferry line. Okay, let's find the ferry line. See if anyone has gotten on it. Ferry. 0 passengers. Has anyone ever gotten on it? No. Okay, so no one wants to ride it and no one's on it. And we're now spending... How much? Well, we're spending $6,000 a period is running. I mean, that's a drop in the bucket. Yeah, okay. Just, you know, when we're broke and bankrupt, don't come. All right, well, we're back up to almost 31. So it was just a cyclical fluke. All right, well, whatever. Let's get those tools made out here, though. Who on the Rock Island line uses tools? That's Chippewa Falls. You turn the map again. Turn it back. Okay. There's the lake. Yeah. How'd you forget the name of the lake? It's a Great Lake. Yeah. What's the name of it? It's, let's see, Lake Erie. It's not Lake Illinois. It's not Lake Wisconsin. Lake Madison. Lake Lake Erie. Lake Ontario. Lake Huron. How did you forget the name of the Great Lake right there outside of Chicago? How, how, come on, seriously. What is the name of the lake? It's okay. This looks worse than it sounds. What is the name of the lake? Oh, it's Lake Michigan. That's right. It's Lake Michigan. Yep. Yep, it's Lake Michigan. Okay, so yeah, it's how did you forget? There's an entire state that it borders. Well, it's not called Lake Illinois and Lake Wisconsin, so therefore it has to be Lake Michigan. Yeah, whatever. That is not. Okay, I'm never going to forget the name Mississippi River. It's the Mississippi River map. But, I mean, I can forget that it's Lake Michigan. Anyhow, we can. Does anyone here want tools? Yeah, West Side wants tools. So we can bring tools into Chicago. Okay, what sort of catchment do we have from this station? You have virtually nothing. Okay, so we're going to have to run a courier truck. Yeah, that's, you know what that's called? That's called great placement. Alright, now how... You know what? We're not even going to talk about bringing tools down here. Hey, we made it to 35 mil. Give me another train. Alright, pause the game. Find me a train. It's not here. Is there one down here anywhere? How about going up? There's not one going. Is there one waiting? Here's one about. Oh, here's one in the tunnel. Okay. So let's clone that. No, don't go into maintenance. Clone it. And now we're going to call it Rock Island Island number 1762. Okay. Let's go find 1762. And let's take a quick ride with her and see how quickly we can recover back to get back up to 35 mil. Well, we're on a train, so up the speed. Well, this will ensure we have plenty of traffic, plenty of passengers to pick up now that we're following 2 seconds behind another train. But we definitely should have, I mean, does Rock Island have more than 55 people? Come on, pal, pick it up. I mean, we're already at 33.3, so we're getting close. Yeah, we are, but we've said we've needed 65, 50, 75 million, all sorts of numbers between 50 and 75 million to get across the bridge, across the river. And we've built this huge infrastructure. We're transporting people all over, but we keep spending money instead of getting, you know, the 35,000, the 75 million. Or 50 or 65, whatever the number is. The number keeps changing. Every time we do the math, I come up with this other crazy guess. Okay, we got 6 passengers. Better than nothing. You know, we're going to leave this. We're just going to watch it get onto the line a little bit. we make it all the way to Moline without stopping? Is there enough spacing in the signals? I mean, right now we're... What is that loop? It's a piece of track we built to loop Moline and Rock Island. And we never tore it up. Alright, let's see how many we get. I mean, we need more spacing. 2nd Street, 26 people. How many vehicles are on this? 12 out of 12. Are they waiting anywhere else? Do we have a bus stop here? There's 19 people waiting. What does this line do? There's just a single loop around Moline here. You know, we could... How many people are in Moline? 184. Do we want to run the bus the other way? Well, I mean, what's 3 more? Okay, make it Moline 1. Give us another line. Which way does she go? She goes clockwise. So Moline 2 will be counterclockwise. Moline 2. There she goes. Counterclockwise. I mean, I'd rather put 3 new vehicles. There are no double stops here, are there? No, there's not. So there is nowhere. These are small stops. There is nowhere for the line to double up. Was there another one? 1, 2. Is that it? Just 3? Do we have catchment all the way back there? Yes, we do. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay, what's the line look like now? Moline 2. Look at that. We added the other stations, and it immediately jumped over and fixed itself. Cool. Alright, now where is our every town has a depot? There's a road between Moline and Rock Island. So we use the same depot out here. Alright. What is on the Moline 1? Moline 1 has... you know what? Let's double them up. Give us 4 more of these. Clone them. And then we'll put these guys on Moline 2. There we go. And now we got people. Alright, hopefully that'll spur our growth a little bit. Get us up to 200. How are we doing on the charts? Well, something. Is this the train we've just bought? Yes, 1762. She's still half full. Alright. Leave her. We're back to 34. I mean, we're staying with her till we get to 35. Can you kick this up a notch? I mean, we could. But then what's the fun of that? Alright. Chicago Rock Island Railroad. The Rock Island line. We're currently carrying how many passengers? 267 out of 336. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why did it say train 7? Did we buy one and delete it by mistake or move it around or something? I don't remember. Weird. And there we are. Oh, there we are. 35 mil. So yeah, we're back to where we were cost-wise to build this. You know, we could put the Express in. Let's put the Express in. The Express is going to be the Rock Island Zephyr. Z-E-Y-E-R? Zephyr? How do you spell Zephyr? Z-E... Zephyr. Well, I can't look in the window because we can't buy one yet. The Rock Island Zephyr. Rock Island Z-E. Z-E-P-H-Y-R. Z-E-P-H... Oh, I had an extra E there. Z-E-P-H-Y-R. Okay. So the Rock Island Zephyr. Where'd you go? Somewhere in here. There she is. Okay, the Rock Island Zephyr is coming... Chicago. Here we go. Out of Chicago. We're going to put her on track 2. She's got to come over here to the freight yard. She can stop anywhere. Okay? She's going to... I mean, we're blowing past Springfield. Are we going to stop anywhere along this route? You know, she's an express run. Let's let her express. Because she's going to be somewhat local when we get over here to Moline. She's going to hit... Is she stopping at Moline? You know what? She'll stop at Moline until we get the bridge built. So she goes to Moline. She comes here to Rock Island. And she hits Moline. And then she heads back to Chicago. Okay. Well, buy me another train. Now we're looking for a train on the Rock Island line. That's bus service. Give me a train. Trains. Rock Island line. We're going to give me a dupe of this. Clone it. Okay, pause the game. You were paused. You put us back in motion. Okay, clone. Okay, train 7. We're going to move her to the Rock Island Zephyr. Have we had a train sitting on the Zephyr this whole time? That can't be right. We had 2 trains selected. That's what that is. Put that one back on the Rock Island line. There you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, which train did we... 1, 56, 19. Where is this train? Going to Corona. She's out there on the line. Yeah, these are all on the line. Okay, that's just, we fat fingered that. Okay, and this is going to be Rock Island. Did we spell the I right? Oh, look at that, we did the I right that time. 5242. Okay, let's find her. And let's see where she's going. She's going to Rock Island. Cool. So, take us to Rock Island and then... Well, if we're going to Rock Island, then she's going to come back. She's going to do the loop and come back down to Moline, and then afterwards we have an express trip all the way into Chicago, which could be interesting because the express tracks are only in the stations. So how much faster really is an express train if the only thing it does is bypass the stations? Well, I mean, the thing's got to pull off and it's got to slow down. So right off of that, we're losing speed. Yeah, but how much? Well, I mean, we're losing, well, there you go. We're losing all the speed because it's going from whatever speed it's at to 0. So that's all the speed bled off. Plus the time switching passengers. Such potential in that track there. I mean, we can see the river. We just can't get across it. Yeah, because we keep spending the money we're supposed to be saving. Yes, but if you don't spend money, we can't lose money. That is not a sound financial principle for us to build a railroad in. No, we just gotta... Now what are we waiting for? We're waiting for clearance. Look at that, all the way down there. Eventually, are we going to have to double track this entire line? Absolutely not. I mean, as long as the trains are spaced out. And this is keeping our costs down. Yeah, but what about when we have, when the cities grow? Well, when the cities grow, we're going to have a lot of AB traffic. So that might be on a more local line, or the bypasses will handle it. Plus, again, the time that they spend sitting in the station. Is anybody even going to get on or off here? Do any of these people want to go to Chicago? Oh, cool. We're going to Chicago empty. That's going to be a load of fun. The profits that this is going to bring in, enough to make a Ferengi cry. Come on, raise the flag. Raise the flag. What are we waiting for? Where is the train? Has it even left the station up there? Okay, we're going. That one was waiting to pull into the station. Okay. Now we should... Well, the one on the left that's heading to... heading east. That's not east. The one that's heading west. We're heading east. That one's going to have to wait for us. But the one that's going east... She could have already left the station by now. Oh my god, I never noticed how slow this pitch of track was. You know, we've ridden this thing a number of times. How did we not notice that we're only doing 24 here? Well, I guess because, I mean, first off, we don't care. There's nothing we can do to fix this. I mean, we have to wait till we get bigger, better trains. Oh, look at that. She's been waiting for us this whole time. Well, that's the benefit of being on the Express. Yes, all 0 of our passengers are greatly benefiting the ability to just blow right past that train completely full of passengers. Yep, we are making sound decisions here. Well, that's why there's only one Rock Island Zephyr. Yeah, because we can't afford 2 of them. Okay. 35. See, this track could be a little lower. Yeah, it could. Where are we at money-wise? We're back down to 31. A couple bad years, some expenses. Aren't we supposed to be building that forest line? Yeah, we are, but we ride every new train when we buy it. Okay, but this is technically the 8th train on this line. Why are we riding the 8th train on the line? Well, because it's 5242. It's 5242's maiden voyage. I mean, are you saying that 5242 is not as good as the other trains? Why did we do this? Why did we get on this side of this track here? Do we have a... Wow, that is technically interesting. I mean, I won't say it's wrong. It was driving through a station. But... I mean, holy cow. That is... I wouldn't have believed it if we weren't watching it. Like, why did you do that? By the way, all these stations, we have interlocking towers for them. And we haven't put any one of them down yet. Alright, we have a green light going through the tunnel. Let's not do anything goofy in the tunnel. I mean, not that there's room to do anything goofy in here. This huge valley, nothing in it. You know, this map is just so huge sometimes. It's this vast expanse of material. You could just sit here and stare at it for hours and fall asleep. Alright, how is Taylorville developing? Well, we don't know because we ain't stopping. A good number of people waiting at the platforms. Okay, Springfield. We're at 30. We appear to be in a bit of a molasses stage here. We're not really going up, we're not really going down. We're just sort of... The good years ain't doing that good, and the bad years aren't doing that bad, but we're not... Why did I lay the track like that? What was I thinking? Well, I guess because here's the station. I mean, that's the directest route. Okay. See, the payday on this won't be until... Go 47 minutes later when we get paid for carrying all 0 of these passengers as an express all the way to the other end of the map. You know, then it'll be a huge amount of money times 0, which is some number. It's the number 0, but it's still... Okay, I thought we were back at 35, but apparently not. Go build that logging line to get to the tool factory. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Oh man, this is boring. I'm boring myself. What the hell? How is this thing slow? There's no people on this train. I don't, you know. Holy cow. Maybe that's why it's unexciting, because we're not stopping and dropping anybody off. Maybe we should think about riding express trains on really long routes in the future. Put in a sleeper car. Okay, getting ready to do something interesting. We're heading down. Oh, great. I mean, we just put in a siding on the other side of the tunnel, but we're still waiting. You know, if you stopped in Springfield, you could lift people out of Chicago up here. It's not the Chicago local, that's the Rock Island line. This is the Rock Island Zephyr. It's supposed to go from Chicago to Rock Island and then cross the river. Yeah, we hear you. Why is it currently stopping in Moline? Because we can't cross the river. So at least have it go to Moline and maybe make a couple of bucks. Okay, but if we can't cross the river, why did we buy this train? Because that is a 29.5. Well, that's real close to the 35 we were. Yeah, not in any way. Okay, look, let's just get in the station. Oh, we jumped to 31.3. Look at that. Now we're, hey, look at that. Whoa, hey, we're making money. Woo, we're look how financially, look at the geniuses we are. We're geniuses. Ignore the last 10 minutes. There must have been a train stuck somewhere carrying a whole boatload of stuff. 32. Now we're back down at 30. Well, we could be a little depressed again. Yeah, well, we can be really depressed if we go back down into the teens or the single-digit millions. Yeah, just get into the station so we can get off this line. Hey, buddy. That was 52. No, we're up here at 52.42. Stick with the train. Interesting that we've not taken the left option. Okay. Cutting over now? No. How about now? This is the last chance to cut over. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So we're going to get 20 people. Let's say we get 20 people. 18. Well, hey. Alright. Back us out of here. Why are we backing out of here? Because there's no such thing as space magic. Yeah, whatever. These 18 people better not be going across town. Well, if they are, at least this way you're making money. That's messed up. Okay. There's 2 people waiting for the Zephyr to want to go to Moline. So how many people get off? Better be none. Please, none. The entire train just took a crosstown shuttle with us. And now they're all waiting for the line because they want to go local. Okay, but did we get paid for being the crosstown taxi? I mean, a couple pennies. Well, that's more than the money that we made before. Okay, well, 52.42. You go on your way. We will see you later. We have a thing to build. Right here. Alright, give me a very small cargo station. Like a 160? I'll take a 120. I mean, I don't care. Well, that'll mean there's longer loading times. We're not worried about it. Okay. Now, where is this line going? Man, I don't remember any of these stations. Get rid of this stuff. Okay. This stuff. Now we're going to the sawmill. Where is the sawmill? It's right here. There's no way that I built these roads are being built by the game. It's doing some sort of auto building reconstruction thing. Doodad. Okay, here's the tool factory. Let's get rid of all these streets that we don't need that are going to block us from having a train come out of here. Pause the game because we don't want the game to rebuild around us. No, don't delete the thing that cost me. You know, I just told myself not to do that. Okay. Here's the sawmill. Okay. Cool. Now, here's the tool factory. Are we double tracking this? You know what? No. No, we're not. Because right now, we're just getting this thing set up. Alright. We'll get it set up. Yeah, I don't remember that being there at all. I've got to have some one of the game's auto build setting things turned on. Ouch, that is horrible. 115, 70, 156. Well, you're coming to a stop. I mean, I know, but still, it's horrible. Alright, pull us out of here with a train that sort of skirts town. Yeah, like that. Okay. Now take us out to the sawmill. 103, how's that look? Well, it's perfectly flat, and it's all 120. So, of course, it's going to look perfectly fine. Okay. Now, we got to get, once we drop off, or we pick up, we got to get out of here. So, we're coming around here. Give us... Why are you looking for that? The train can't even do 50 right now. Well, no, it can do 50. It can't do more than 50. Okay, put it back on right here. Yes. Alright, now we need 2 switches. 2 switches. One way, yes. Goes that way and comes back in. Okay. Now, we got to get over here to the sawmill. Track. 120. This is a little bit curvaceous. Yeah, I know. I mean, this is almost smelling like double track here. The curve on this is so much. Do we need lights here? Signals? No. No, we don't. Because we're going... yeah, no, we don't. No. No, get out of the thing. Okay. Coming down here. This is hard. This is ugly. This should not be here. I don't remember this thing at all. Hey, you know what? It shouldn't be here. It's a friggin' iron mine. All the iron is in Minnesota. That is... something's wrong with that. Well, are you going to delete it? No, because I can't, because we're not in creative or survival or sandbox mode. Okay, we need a depot. Buildings, give us a depot. Yes, there it is. Okay, depot. You know, why are we putting the depot all the way over here? Well, because I don't really know where else to put it. Alright, give us a line. This is Milwaukee Tools. So this station is Milwaukee Tools Freight Yard. Okay. This next one's the forest. You know, we don't have a good name for forest stops. But it's not Johnsonville, because that's the over there. Alright, so give us a line. New line. We're going to call it the Mill, M-I-L-W-A-U-K, Milwaukee Tools. Logs in. Well, it's not logs, we're delivering planks. Planks in. Okay, so we pick up the logs, come over to here, and then we go to here. Okay, so we pick up here. We don't drop anything off out here. Alright, that looks about right. How are we for money? 31 mil. Alright, give us, I guess, the Russian. Yep. I don't want to keep buying the Russian. Okay, 7. She weighs 8 tons. 7, she weighs 10 tons. Give us the 10 tons because it snows and the extra weight will help with traction in the winter. That is completely and unscientifically wrong. 126? Do you want to go to 140? No, 126, and that's way too much as it is. Here's the caboose. We're looking for... We're currently in the light red stage of cabooses. Okay, 4.4 million, are we sure? Ouch. Well, we already bought it. Alright, let's take a ride on our brand new log train. Remember, we're looking to recoup 4 million. Yeah, that'll happen overnight. I mean, logs. Especially the short distance we're hauling them. And those planks, oh wow, those planks. That'll make us even more money. I mean, is the train, this thing, is it even going to get out of the plank station before it gets to the factory? I don't know. But we need to, you know, that was a statement that said nothing. We need to, yeah, we need to diversify. We need passenger and freight service. We can't do one without the other, because we'll find ourselves having to do some huge freight project, or we'll find ourselves having a conversation one day like, hey, go put buses on all 75 cities. And we'll be like, yeah, we don't want to do that. That's... Come on, you can get there. I mean, technically we're deadheading on this line. I mean, we're delivering logs. Yes, but we're grabbing planks. Well, at the most, we'll only grab half planks, because logs to planks are 2 to 1. Okay, this platform's full, and she holds 113. So, I guess we're idiots. We need a bigger platform. Do we need a bigger platform, or do we put, well, that's 126. Okay, well, stay here until full. Manage the line. Stay here until full. Okay. Gonna put another building out here? Well, no, but I mean, do we make the platform a lot bigger? We can't that way. I have no idea what this is. There's nothing there. Platforms. I mean, we could come back this way. Does that extend our storage? Terminal. 120. No, it really didn't. Configure. Give us cargo building. Just put 2 of these down. 1, 2. There we go. Okay, what's that give us now? 60. So, yeah, we're more than able to fill the train. That's really all we have to worry about. Why are you leaving the station? Get back here. What? No path. What? No. Signal. Man, this is hanky. Yeah, I know. One way, no. You can go that way. Okay, now. Go to the forest. Where are you? No path. That's the sawmill. Okay. Now turn around and go to the forest. There you go. And then we'll delete this hijacking signal here we put down. Come on. There you go. Just back it up. You can get here. You didn't even hit the whole station. Okay, you're full. Get out of here now. Let's delete this. Yeah, delete it, but don't delete the track. Nope, it's going to delete track. Do it from up here. There you go. Okay. Now, is this train going to get up to speed at all? Chugga, chugga, chugga. I mean, come on, man. This ground can't be any more flatter than this. Man, I don't want to put any pressure on you on your first day on the job, but the entire financial future of our railroad system depends upon you. You and this highly profitable 126 stacks of logs. Which is, if we're lucky, what's it going to make us with this short distance? I don't know. Let's call it and say $580,000. And then do we wait for planks? No. Because the planks ain't going to get us a lot of money. We want to get back around and get another stack of logs. Get this cycle going. Okay. I mean, that's a plan. Might not be the best one. Turn left. There you go. Because we were cheap and didn't put a signal here. Well, more lazy, but... Come on. I love how we follow with common livery colors between our engines and the caboose. You know, see, it's the livery of the blind man. Okay, we're coming in. Place your bets. How much are we making? We're carrying 126 logs. You see how far we traveled. And we're here. So, come on. $675. Look at that. And what did I say it was going to be? $674. I was within like $1,000. So close. Hey, look at that. We've got one plank. That's cool. That'll get us... Have we left the station yet? Yeah, we just now left the station. Okay, and we're just about to pull into the tool factory. I don't know. $5,000. You know, just enough. 700K. Well, thank you for your bid. By the Wheel of Fortune rules, is it Wheel of Fortune? No, by the Price is Right rules, you were over, and therefore you lost. But yeah, that's a pretty good bet. Of course, we got to then get these tools going into Chicago. Johnsonville, too. So I guess we run a line from here to Johnsonville and down into Chicago to deliver tools. Yeah, I guess that's the next one we set up. Alright, how do we get out of here? Well, we were just up to 31. We got to get back to 35. But, I mean, we'll just hop on this line. We'll follow it all the way down. I guess we branch off here. And we come to Johnsonville. And we have to change the name of this. It is Johnsonville Farms. That's where we get the brats from. Okay. So you're going to come down here. Branch off. Hit over here. You know, it really should be the station for the farm. And our delivering tools should be a... Oh, actually, excellent question. Thank you for it there, 10 Hades. The map is I'll do a little overhead tour real quick. This is the Mississippi River map. It is a custom map based off of the combination of the USGS data going into the map generator, and then it is a editing that was done to bring it into some of the game scale. So as an example, the river needed to be wider to have any sort of challenge to it. When you import the USGS data into a map, whether it's Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, City Skylines, or Transport Fever, the problem if you have a flat or a river sort of area is you wind up with, the Mississippi River in game scale becomes this thing, which, it may be accurate in terms of real world data, but for a game map, there's no challenge to this. And you're also not using it to do any sort of shipping. So the river had to be widened, and then a lot of, here's what you run into. So this is flat with like no elevation. And then here's, what would be in real world terms, a simple 5 or 10 meter elevation. Yeah, well, that's part of the other problem is when I did the city placement. So once the map editing was done, I let the game do random cities and industries, and then I did the removals. So none of these cities are placed. They are like the game randomly put like 10 cities down here for some crazy reason. So we're going from New Orleans up to St. Louis, all the way. The New Orleans St. Louis ferry currently has 0 passengers. It's had 0 passengers every day that the ferry's been running. No one, of course, is taking that ferry run because the distance is just astronomically far for no purpose. But we are running the ferry. It's killing us, and we're losing money because of it. But other things like the St. Louis to Collinsville ferry, they're hauling traffic. Same with the St. Louis to Evansville line. They are hauling passengers. Then we go up the river. We're currently waiting to build the Rock Island Bridge across Davenport to Rock Island. There's been discussion about it many times. The biggest problem has been this part right here. Give me $60 to $70 million to build the bridge. So, I mean, literally it's come down to, well, why don't we just stand here for the next 4 hours and do nothing, and then we'll have $70 million built up. Yeah, that's not going to work. So I've been building up the map as we've been going around so that once the bridge is built, there's actual traffic going across it. And then we go up the rest of the way to the Twin Cities. So we have the ferry sitting in, well, it's calling itself the Bloomington Port. And then the first actual bridge across the Mississippi, which is getting a horrendous ton of traffic up here, is the Father Lewis Hennepin Bridge, which was a crossing for ice and traffic safety. But, the river at this point was, it reaches non-navigable and it freezes over in the winter. But, if you've been to the Twin Cities or seen any pictures of it, the river's a beautiful sight. So this was put in, and once this bridge was built, the Twin Cities really bloomed up. So we're definitely getting some good traffic up here in terms of, really the bus service. That's all we're getting, because we haven't gotten up here yet to do any freight or anything. But the map, and this is how I know that the random generator is on, because I don't know if you noticed it. Where's that oil well? Here you go. This thing right here is waiting to spire. The Opelousas oil well is fixed. It should be fixed. It should not have an expiration timer on it. So the other day I did a test video, very hard passenger service only, and I must have messed with the game settings and forgot to reset them back properly for this map. And the random generator is on, so I have to go back and fix that. I mean, that's not really a big deal. But as far as like freight service, where's here we go, back in New Orleans. So Cafe Du Monde is spitting out, food service that we are delivering all down the Gulf Coast freight line. So I mean, here's New Orleans. I mean, we have a nice, healthy, busy city going on here. Oh, really? Yeah, it is a beautiful thing. I mean, even to just cross it in a car, and then any sort of historical view of it. We're follow this guy out of here. As you can see, he's backing out. We have the no flip turned on, and anywhere where there's a dead end station, which is really only going to be in the major cities, we're using a Y out at a second station so that the trains can flip around. But yeah, you think about the challenge. I mean, and I think that's part of the hurdles in the game that you have to do. Like, that's why we're not flipping trains, because it's a bit of space magic, and it increases the difficulty. It also increases, the time that the trains have to work. So therefore, it reduces their revenue per hour, so to speak. But the city will definitely get busier as we go along. Now, well, again, I mean, if you know the area, you know, Gulfport, Mississippi City, Pascagoula, and Pensacola and Tallahassee. Yes, the distances are not accurate, but the relationship north, south, east, west is. So if you're sitting here and we're talking about going, from New Orleans out to White Kitchen, you're going to the northeast, or if you're going up to Baton Rouge. So that was kept in the game as far as you know conversation piece. Um, I mean, you can make this game on scales where just New Orleans to Tallahassee could be a huge map all by itself. It won't be very interesting, but you could do it. The thing that also has been done is like all the oil is down off the Gulf Coast. So all the iron, that's also the other thing that let me know that there was something that going on with the random generator, because there should be none of these roads are supposed to be here, and there should be no iron down here. All the iron is in Minnesota to have to get hauled out of there. And then I've taken a little bit of liberty for some fun. It's here's a food distribution center in St. Louis. I think we realize it's going to be the king of beers. You know, it's the tool factory outside of Milwaukee is Milwaukee Tools, just to make the conversation over time. But where we started the map was this quarry right here. Matter of fact, who's coming in right now? Uncle Jed. So Uncle Jed is pulling is going to pull 178 stone out of here, and there's currently 104 waiting. So by the time he makes that slow loop, we're hope that his wait time is pretty minimal. But this was the start of the game. Just hauling stone over to the to the Brownsville cement factory, and that was it. We didn't even start hauling stone out of there until I think the second or third day. How's the factory? Are we at 400? Yeah, we've long been maxed out here. Oh no, absolutely. The caboose the caboose does several things. First off, it makes the train when you buy it the first day cost more money. Um, then, as the train is operating, it has a weight, so it makes it it has an impact on your traction and your speed issues. Also, the train has um, let me just kick this up a notch. The train has the ongoing maintenance cost because the caboose is there has increased. So, your train that might have cost you, let's hypothetical numbers here. It cost you 4 million to buy and 400,000 a year. It now costs you 4.5 to buy it's costing you $450 every year for maintenance, and your train's going just a kilometer or two slower. And it adds up. The later on, there's a caboose that shows up around 1920 that has a passenger compartment in it. Well, I guess I mostly I think for me it is too easy to make money in this game, even on medium. So that's why I play on hard. That's why the trains aren't flipping. That's why we have the caboose on here. That's why, like, all the track is meant to be a single track with sidings as much as possible. And then some other goofy things just to make it challenging, such as if there's a tunnel, it's only single track. So, there could be also all passenger cars are separate from freight track, so that when the passenger service gets electrified, we can see which lines are which. Wow, this guy's sitting here waiting for bricks. And, all of that is supposed to bring itself to the point where there's a challenge. Um, let's see, how's the factory doing? The factory's just slammed. Yeah, she has storage, but that's just part of the guaranteed money making by hauling freight. Let's see. This is the Huntsville brick line. So she's going to fly out to Huntsville. On this track, there's also bricks going to Memphis, and we're going to parallel the passenger line when she comes in on the right up ahead. But otherwise, she's single track with the siding. There's more than enough money in the bank to double track everywhere. There you go, passenger service just flying by us. And you can see there's another train down there waiting that's now stuck because we're on the line. All of that, again, makes the line take just a little bit longer. It's, it reduces your revenue per hour, which makes your margins more tighter. I don't, it's not fun for me if there's $10 billion in the bank. But these are also all 1870 trains. We're pulling very good sized loads out of them. That passenger train, 48 out of 77, Brownsville to Huntsville. We're not running small trains with pulling loads of 70 on them. We're doing really good long haul trains as much as we can. The only barrier really is the geography of the map. That's also why, if you look around the map, you'll see, like, from ground level, you can look over there and go, "Sir, I have been to Memphis. There is no mountain that high in the center of town." Well, that's only really 120 meters. There's definitely hills that high, in the vicinity. And if we take the hills out, we might as well play on a flat map, and that presents no challenges at all. So, you have to have some sort of geography on the map. The thing that was added in the spring update, which I found to be very good, is the industry generator. The game will start out and just go poof and dump, resources everywhere. If you don't use them, it will give you a notice, which you can turn off, that says, so and so industry, or the Jacksonville steel mill, or the Jacksonville coal mine is going to go away because you haven't used it. And if you don't use it, it's going to go away. And where that can present a challenge is, you ran a piece of track expecting there to be an iron and a coal mine next to that steel facility, but you'd never hooked it up. You got distracted by something else. You ran out of money, which, again, on the harder difficulty settings becomes easier to do. if you over plan and overbuild, you know, you could find yourself, um, you know, your train suddenly shows up 2 years later and the steel mill isn't there anymore. It's just, your station's still there, but the steel mill isn't. And that's, yeah, this is, come on, man. Is this going to Memphis? Uh, Nashville. She's going to Nashville. So yeah, this one's the Huntsville train. Just had to sit there that whole time. We have more than enough money to double track. You know, double track everywhere is not interesting. But thank you very much for the question, and again, thanks for checking in. I mean, I appreciate it. This train going to Nashville, she will hit a spot where I think she slows down to like 17. It's just, it's brutal. It is just brutal. You know. There you go. There's her sister coming down the hill. And she's just flying because she's empty, and she's going downhill. But you see, she's on the freight track. Now she should not be crossing the passenger line. Um, Obviously, when electrification comes in, there'll be a lot more, you know, flying bridges or overpasses to prevent that. But I would definitely suggest playing with the random map generator. The only problem with the random map generator, which is what I've done here, is, and I've done it before on the games because I think it presents and it wasn't my idea. Somebody asked it on the forums, um, and I've been doing it ever since. Um, their question was, is there a way to make it so that like you only get oil in the north? And the random generator doesn't do that, but it's very easy for you to, you know, let the generator give you a map. There you go, 8. 8 is not a freight train, sir. 8 is us. 8 is, why didn't we just stop back in town and let the bookies carry this stuff up here? Um, but you know, it's a long haul run. You know, it's in another couple years there will be another upgrade coming, and this will become, you know, this line will just fly all the way out here. We won't even think about it. So it's not the best thing, but it is making money. You know, you don't get to pick and choose. Well, I mean, you could. Oh, all right. Well, thank you for letting me know. I'll have to check my settings, see where they are. But yeah, we're there you go. We're back up to 11. You know, it's just a small getting over this hurdle. You know, for what it takes to get this size. You know, but when that performance meter says poor, that train will still go. So, you know, when you're trying to watch every penny and how much a locomotive costs, because they're not cheap. By the way, I don't know if you noticed, but this train is called Walking in Nashville. It's We really should call it Walking to Nashville. It's this is painful sometimes. But you know, as an example, she's got when she makes her her delivery, she's going to stay up here and pick up a load of logs to the sawmill, uh, just because she's up here. So we're trying, you know, um, we don't have a demand to bring anything back with her yet. If we had, as soon as we get a tool demand, actually now we do have a tool demand in Huntsville. I haven't seen it. You haven't been here lately. Since Huntsville's demanding tools, we could bring the tools back with us now, because that's one of the things that's up here. It's a tool factory. Where's that train? There she is. I mean, that intersection could be worse. I don't know how much, but not much. Yeah, that needs to be. There's definitely cleaning work to do. But a nice 3.1 million. It's worth the pain and struggle of that run. And as I said, she's not going home. She's heading over to the forest to pick up a load of logs. So, you know, we're trying to be as... it's just funny to see these things. I mean, that is... You know, that's what a diesel would be pulling. It's just... And I do it every time I play this far back in time. I will push these things as much as I can. I mean, I love seeing early steam engine trains pulling, you know, 200s and, you know, doing a refinery circuit. I mean, I buy them one wagon at a time. You know, you start out with, you know, 3 wagons and 4, and then as you make a load, you buy 1 or 2 more, and, you know, as the thing is working, you keep incrementally just, you know, hammering it as much as you can. You can make a lot of money with just one train per line. It's not how you're going to build your cities. It's not going to deliver enough, but, you know, if you can hammer it as, you know, with one train as much as possible. Okay, that is a very short trip. But like I said, she's up here. Extra 600,000. So instead of doing a loop that gives us nothing, she does a small loop and picks up an extra 600,000. And she'll fly back downhill. So throwing a couple of boxcars on here that she carries up empty to bring back the tools, we're going to lose a couple wagons. I don't know how much slower than 8 kilometers an hour we want to be going. I mean, that's pretty painful. What are we stopping? Oh, here you go. That is that's the regular log car up here. And she's just doing the typical, you know, the forest, the Nashville sawmill and lumber works over to the tool and die works, and that's it. So we could, yeah. Are there 2 trains on that line? Oh no, that's the other brick train coming up, sorry. And that's the passenger overpass, so she doesn't touch the freight line. You know, if we just came back here, tore all this track up, and ran a tunnel that was level, we would go through here a lot faster. Yeah, but that wouldn't be as interesting to look at. autosave is going to kill me. I need to stop running that. Yeah, there's the, is she full? Yeah, Babe is 210 logs. And how does she do revenue-wise? She does a pretty good pace of stuff. You know, she's got the off year where she does the huge pickup. And there you go, we made it over the hump. I like to build the stuff well, generally what I like to do is overbuild and then find myself in trouble later on. And it's very difficult to stop doing that. You know, because you want to build the entire steel line all at once. And then, you know, after you have trouble, you remind yourself that, you know, you could have just taken the coal there and left it, and it will sit there forever. You know, because the factories will take everything we send them. We are missing. Are we missing a signal here? No, that's the freight. That's the passenger train. Are we really waiting for her to leave the station all the way down there? That's crazy. We need another signal here. Although really all it's going to do is pull up to here and wait. But, and actually that train's so long it'll block that signal anyway. And if you put one here, you're just going to block that. You know what? I'm sure I've done this before. Okay, let's get rid of the crazy signal, because that's just... Let's not put signals in to block intersections. I mean, we're going to do it anyway. Let's not do it on purpose. Alright, we're back at 35 mil. Well, we're back at 34 now, but we're good enough. So this is what sort of goes on over at the Brownsville Cement Factory. You know, every few minutes, 1.5, 1.6 million of stone comes in. And we're just hammering out bricks. She's feeding Dyersburg, Huntsville, Memphis, and Nashville. And then Brownsville itself is being fed by wagon from here. So one factory we're supporting 4 by train and 1 by wagon. So we're supporting 5 cities with construction materials out of here. And if we check utilization, Huntsville, I mean, she's getting a good number. She's grown to 326. How about Nashville? Not as much, but she's still growing. So, you know, every load helps the cities grow. Let's check the other 2. So Brownsville, 367. She's still growing. And this is just wagons. You know, at this point, we might need... Do we need another cargo stop? Cargo building. Where is... Do we have catchment? Looks like we have catchment everywhere. Yeah, we've got plenty of coverage with just that one stop. So it's just a matter of how quickly the wagons can get back and forth. And then we've got Dyersburg, 281. She's doing fine. I mean, you know, it's who is this? Oh, that's, yeah, that's, she just dropped off a load of bricks, so we should have 53 out of 96. And there's 20 of them still waiting to be picked up here. I mean, we could use another truck, but what's the point? You know, as long as they get here. And the passenger lines are making money. Yeah, see, then stuff like this happens. You know, it's like, where are the vehicles on this line? There's only 2. That's probably not enough. Oh, well, that's seating for 8 we just added. That'll clear up the backlog of 78 and 77 in a heartbeat. Yeah, is there anywhere else people are waiting? Yeah, over here, over here. I think we could add a few more stagecoaches to Memphis. All right, we're going to come back here in about 5 minutes, and then we're going to go, why did we buy all these vehicles? They're carrying nobody. Just... Oh, look at that, the valley. I didn't even think about that the game would build down here. That has made this whole area very interesting. I would not want to be down here during rainy season. Here's the Memphis Port. Let's see how she's doing. The New Orleans to Memphis line. Well, we currently have, let's check the numbers. We have 0 passengers. Let's see, have we ever had a passenger? No, we haven't. Stop asking. That is just crazy. You know, is there even... Yeah, it's the Captain Charles. Where is she? She's down here. Heading into New Orleans. I mean, it's just crazy that we... Like, why am I running... It's the Mississippi River map. You have to run them. You know. Oh, you got a map based on the Mississippi River? No. Do you have boats on the Mississippi? No, why would I? Of course we do. Oh, they must be making you lots of money, making you fabulously wealthy. No, they're not. No, not as... I mean, the local lines are hauling passengers, but nope. Yeah, it's going to be... It is going to be a fascinating day when anybody rides one of these longer... You know, the small ones. Again, here's New Orleans to Opelousas. You know, see, this is the number people talk about when they talk about a ferry. You know, oh, look how cheap they are and look at all the money you can make. Okay, yeah, that's great. But here's a ferry right here. She ain't making a dime. Because you got to have the demand. If you don't have the demand, the people don't ride them. All right, where were we? Oh, we were working on the tool line all the way up here in outside of Chicago and Milwaukee. Here we go. Oh, she just left. Okay, how's she doing? She's in the blue. We're making a profit. So for very little cost, she is contributing an additional $500,000 towards overhead and general revenue. I mean, not bad at all. You know, if we put down 10 lines like this, we make an extra $5 million every period. Now we'll get extra money when we start hauling those tools out of there and run them down to Chicago. That will help the growth in the city. I would be very, very tempted to leave the game running. No worries. I mean, honestly, it could have been any of nonsense of on my end. I appreciate the giving the feedback. Okay, so this should be, yeah, this is exactly half. This is a full load of planks for us. So we bring up, you know, we bring up a load of logs. We come back around. We get a full load of planks. So we get an idea of, we can see the numbers. But this is a this is a sweet little line. It's not it's not like the okay. This should not be should not be here. That is that is just uh that is so funny. I'm gonna have to go through every one of these industries just to figure out which ones. Well, okay, I'm just gonna have to. I'll load up the original map and do a screen scrape and just see which ones are where, and then fix it. Okay, 63 planks. What? 200 quarter mine? 162. I was way over. But hey, we have to loop around anyway, and it's a short distance. So this is free money. And the tool factory, if we would just start hauling the tools out of here. Yeah, why are you dropping the planks off here? We could drop the planks off over here at the machine factory. Well, because I don't think this machine factory is supposed to be here. And I can tell that because it's got a dirt road going to it. Oh, there you go. That's what I can do. I can just go around and look for every factory with the dirt road and delete it. Because we shouldn't have the dirt roads. Yeah, I'll bet you though that it places a plant somewhere or a factory or a sawmill or a forest. Like this coal mine might supposed to have been it. This coal mine might what the hell, man? Speak English. This coal mine is supposed to be here, maybe. And when it put this oil refinery in, it just threw this road in. I don't know. Or it put both of these in and it ran the road. I do not know. Either way, it looks like I'm gonna have to. Yeah, this'll. Well, that's why my wife helps me while I'm gaming. So we're just gonna have to stand here and stare at the map, and then make the edits. How much is waiting here? 318. Yeah, we could almost. I mean, I would say we could throw more cars on this thing. Yeah, we're only pulling out of here 126. Let's put a couple more cars on here. Which ones is this? Flat car 10 side 10. All right, so I don't know, 170. Drop the box car or the caboose. Put the caboose back. There we go. Let's see what our penalty is now. 59%. That engine is not happy. I'm surprised that cabooses aren't part of the base game. But I mean, you know, if they were, they'd be optional. So you would have people who wouldn't use them because, you know, they just present a challenge. You know. But I mean, really, how can you see that and not go, where's the caboose? You know. Do you want to be standing here at the intersection counting this thing go by and you're like, you know, 1, 2, 3. There were 25. Did you count the caboose, kids? You know, it's part of the train. Plus, it serves a necessary function. Man, I am going to have to switch all these. This map is so big, that's another pain later on is going to be converting all these signals over to electrics. Okay, first time hauling all these extra planks. 175. So I don't know if anybody remembers what we made with the previous load, but I think this will probably get us closer. It's going to get us closer to 1 million. I don't think we'll get 1 million until we have 200. We're hauling a load 200 plus. But we're doing 37, 38. So this thing is definitely. She is definitely not handling this well. This is flat ground. She is not getting up to 50. So I don't really think I mean, unless we're going to put a second engine on this. All right, 175. Yeah, I'm going to call it and say 875. Just to see where we end up. 938. Well, okay, if that's 938, 200 would definitely make this a $1 million run. I just don't think that train can handle it. Which is surprising, because again, this is flat. Now, we do have a line that has 2 trains on it. 2 locomotives. That is all the way down here in New Orleans. Let me see if we can find it. Alright, here's the freight lines. Okay, here comes a food delivery. So here's what happens in New Orleans to get up and down this hill here. Which again is not realistic, but you know, we don't have Lake Pontchartrain. So, you know, would Lake Pontchartrain be more accurate? Yes, it would be. Is Lake Pontchartrain going to fit in the game perspective? No, because it's a perfectly flat lake. You know, where's the challenge? I mean, once you pay the cost of building the bridge across the lake, well, you know, the trains don't go across the Huey Bridge. You know, they go around the lake. Okay, so we build the big lake and the trains go around it. You know, there's not a huge challenge to that. Which train is this? Oh, here she comes. The Cafe du Monde. Okay. She's on food delivery line 1. Let's take her down into New Orleans. There's a freight train driving backwards. Hey, if you're going to have a spiral, make it visible all the way around. And make it look like it fits, you know. This is... Alright, so we're heading over to Cafe du Monde to pick up food. Apparently we're a little backlogged on deliveries here. 140. 118. Why are you not waiting? Is she not set to wait? I guess she isn't. That is so weird. Why not? Manage the line. I wonder why she's not waiting. Okay, so here's why. Okay, you see this guy heading down here? Okay, she can carry 140 plus, and she's heading out with one. Okay, why are there 2 locomotives on the Café du Monde? Yeah, that's right, because all the food trains coming in deliver and they leave empty. But this is the one that leaves full. And without that second locomotive, she just does not get up out of this hill. I think we've gotten it down to where she slows down to like maybe 17. Oh, we lost her for a second. That was my fat fingering. Here she is. Yeah, she's at 18 right now. And now she starts to hit the flat. Now she's going to go to Mississippi City and Pascagoula for deliveries. Man, that is unnecessarily steep there. Let's see, crops delivery. Yeah, we got 4 trains on here. Just carrying a ton of food, a ton of crops down there into the city. And what is this? She's going to Café du Monde. 2 trains on her line. Oh, she's the sister to this one. Why does she only have 1 locomotive? No, she has 2. They both have 2. They just have... Oh, it's the name. That's right. It's the name that's making it look staggered. Sorry. That's me being goofy. I'll blame it on the eyes. But yeah, we have a line with 2 trains making a profit. Granted, she got some cost to her, but she's delivering to a city and helping the city grow. 40 people at the station. City's 370. Wow. Yeah, we are not doing... Yeah, we haven't gotten any machine parts down here. But, yeah, that transportation bonus is huge. Wow. What's everybody else doing? About 306. Pensacola is 330. With another 70% bonus. Tallahassee, 60% bonus. And how about Mobile? 60% bonus, 222. Wow, these things are growing nicely down here. You know, that's the other beauty of doing the really large maps, is that, you know, you start working on something and then you head to another portion of the map, and, you know, by the time you get back here, it's several game years. At 188, she's growing nicely too. Okay, let's get back to yeah, where? Oh, the sawmill thing. Are we done with that line? Well, we're at 40 mil. I mean, we are getting close to building that bridge. How many people are waiting here? 34. That's funny, that Rock Island one is not on the Express. The Zephyr. And how much we got waiting now? Yeah, the Zephyr only has one train on the line. So full load coming into Chicago. I mean, that passenger line is making money. And there's enough of them that they're making money solid. They're riding out the waves of the off-peak time. So we have 3 tracks heading off to the left. That drops down to 2, to 1, and they're given the choice. They can go to either stop. The only part of this that I don't like is being the crosstown bus with people getting off. You know, it just made us 28,000. But, I mean, this is a station, and these people are... The game built this, not me. And now she's got to get up and out of the map, out of Chicago. Okay, Johnsonville wants tools. And we're going to need a station. Yeah, do we put it over here or here? I mean, we can't really put it here. There's enough room to get out of here? Well, I mean, it would just be a tunnel that pops up down here. Yeah, maybe over here right at the factory. Buildings. That's a different day. That's once we start building this, we're going to wind up with a cargo station here. We're going to want to bring in the couple of farms, start making brats, and then hauling the brats out of here. Yeah, we got to stop doing these side projects, or we'll never get that bridge built. And one of the things I don't want to do is just let the game run for 2 hours, you know, with no purpose. You know, because that's just free money at that point. You know, where's the challenge in that? I mean, the challenge is sitting here and you know, look at that, Johnsonville brats, Johnsonville Farms. Yeah, we could bring food in there. Yeah, let's go. That's a temptation challenge. Okay. Well, we know these 2 farms are supposed to be here. Is there a food factory in Chicago? I mean, okay. That must belong there because the streets are built around it. So what are we going to call a food factory in Chicago? I mean, Abe Froman sausages. Is there some other famous Chicago? I mean, we call it Famous Amos Cookies. I mean, I need a name for a food factory in Chicago. I'm not sure what we should call it. I mean, Abe Froman sausages. That's number 1. The Famous Amos Cookies. I don't know if Famous Amos Cookies are actually based out of Chicago, but that's the first place I ever had one. So I'm going to assume that they're based out of Chicago. I mean, that's reasonable. think. Is it? Yeah, I think that's reasonable. Let me check. In Chicago. Chicago foods. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Garrett's Popcorn. There we go. Garrett's Popcorn. So, famous Chicago foods. We've come up with 3. What food is Chicago most famous for? Deep dish pizza. I mean, do we really want to be associated with deep dish pizza? Chicago barbecue. Never heard of it. A Jabanto sandwich or Habanto sandwich. Steak. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, you know, the Lithuanian Chicago. You know, the whole lumberyard, packing house, all that sort of stuff. I mean, I guess a steakhouse. Oh, you know what? That's. I guess that's what we're gonna. Maybe that's what I was thinking. Yeah, we'll call it the jungle. There you go. So, the jungle. Alright, problem 1 with the jungle. It's not going to have catchment with this station, is it? That sucks. I mean, the only reason we have this station and we don't have catchment to it. Let's try and put in a road. See if we can fix that. Just give me that. Let's see if that little stub there. You're going to destroy 2... It's $250 million to do that. Come from up here. Let's try it this way. Just... We're not getting any catchment up that way. Come along the side. No. Okay, delete this, because this is not doing anything. Bring this over here. There we go. Okay, so that, too much slope. Hey, thank you. That's just... that's just messed up. Oh, wow, that is too much slope. Okay. So, let's, okay, we have catchment, and we're level. Okay, now connect up to this. Okay. Do we have catchment? Not even close. Okay. Are we going to move the freight station? Portillo's or Giordano's? They both sound like pizza joints. Or are they steakhouses? I mean, you know, the jungle. I mean, Upton Sinclair's, you know, novel of all the abuses of all those poor Lithuanian slaughterhouse workers. But yeah. Well, I mean, if I had to name a famous food from, from Philly, it'd be Philadelphia cheesesteaks. If I had to name one from New York, it would be, well, it'd be pizza or, Nathan's hot dogs. I was going to say Coney Island hot dogs, but that's not the... Okay. Okay, but do you mention those because you already, or because I mentioned them, or you already thought about them? Garrett's Popcorn and Famous Amos cookies. Oh man, I didn't look. Do you know Is Famous Amos cookies from Chicago? Because the first time I had them, I was in Chicago. But I mean, that's like saying, you know, um, lobster must come from Chicago because the first time I had one, I was in Chicago. I mean, it's not guaranteed. But yeah, where's Famous Amos from? I mean, obviously, you can tell when I was placing the towns, I made sure that Johnsonville was here because we need Johnsonville farms. Because, I mean, unknown. See, now we got to look it up. All right, where's Famous Amos cookies from? Famous Amos cookies. Wally Amos. I'm gonna think that. I mean, is it? Yeah, where was it started in? And I don't know why I thought. I mean, I think Crowbar has said that definitely they're from Chicago. I mean, Crowbar is from Chicago, born and raised. He's lived there his whole life. He is a good source of Chicago history. But is he? I don't know. I mean, Wally Amos. Yeah, that's great. He took his grandmother's recipe. But where did he? 1975, Amos launched the first Famous Amos store, Sunset Boulevard, Los Angeles. You know what? That is that is how far from Chicago can we get? Not only by distance but by personality wise. I mean, that's well, good thing we got Johnsonville brats and the jungle. So here's the problem we're going to have with the jungle down here is the deep dish thing is tempting. It really is. But I mean, Upton Sinclair's novel is you know, it's 100 years old. It's still around. Talks about the plight of workers. I mean, the Lithuanian workers, obviously, but it's you know, it influenced social laws in the United States for worker rights, occupational safety. You know, it's a pretty big event in American history. But the deep dish pizza is a second is close. But yeah, that's all right. Well, here's our problem. The jungle's here, and the freight station's over there. So if we move the freight station down a little bit closer this way towards, you know, towards Lakeshore Drive or Lake Michigan, we're going to have this stuff traveling a little bit further. Okay, I mean, it's already traveling a forever distance. A little bit isn't going to kill it. We can just make it a separate station. Get rid of the whole freight portion of this station. I mean, that's an option. But again, the problem with the freight line is, you know, it's got to be able to support the through traffic that's going to hit the city going north and south. And then anybody curving east-west is, you know, it's a north-south traffic station. These steel mills in Gary are supposed to be down here. Yeah, see, and they have no roads. None of the well, this shouldn't be here. This should be here, and it is not road connected. So I definitely think the road connection is going to be a good way to get rid of these things. But back to the freight station. And the other problem we have is the freight trains coming down. They have a little bit of a rise there. It's not that big of a deal, though. I mean, it's not. It's just a couple meters to clear. But we can't move the factory because that's where the game randomly put it. So we're stuck with it here. I mean, the other option is we just run trucks back and forth. But I mean, let's be real. Running trucks to carry, crops into a food distribution plant, that is a lot of trucks. I mean, we're going to hammer this thing with as much food as we can to maximize production. And it's going to be years until we get bigger trucks. I mean, I think the Peterbilt doesn't show up till like 1970. We could run a little shunting train, that just, comes here, grabs the deliveries and drops them back off and comes back. I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility. Yeah, but is a shunting train going to be profitable that short distance this far back? Yeah, it's not that bad. I mean, it is a drop off, but it's not that bad. And if this line if we do a shunting line and it becomes a little bit of bridge work, I mean, that's just adds to the character of it. I did wonder how we were gonna, because the Chicago has an elevated line, so I wasn't really sure how we were going to put that in here. And one of the ideas I was thinking was that when the freight trains leave here to go north, we dredge this whole area out so that the freight trains go under the elevated track. Again, that's not elevated. I know. I fully understand that. It's just, how do we represent that? I mean, and the other thing I made sure to do was brought the station down, and the bus stop all the way down here into the loop. So we have enough room in here to elevate these lines a little bit. And as you can see, a lot of this is just stub work that I left. So we can pull this back quite a bit. If we just do a simple straight ladder from here would come out to about here. It'd be much tighter, and we would have to put... we just have to watch as the lines are coming in that they don't... Well, I mean, again, this is so far. Nothing's going to get jammed up in here. But it is a thought. We could do a straight ladder from here down here to track 2, and then track 1 and 2 going back out to the curve to do the Y. The other option is we could take the Y out of the city and move it over to here. That's what the Y is down in New Orleans. And every time somebody looks at it, I get comments asking, why didn't you put it in the city? Why don't you build a city over there? Because it's just like it's out there on its own, and it requires explanation. So you are correct. There is a loop. I mean, there is the height thing. And if we're going to take advantage of it, we could make a separate cargo station down here. Cargo station. I mean, it's eventually going to be a 320. This should not be here. So let's say it looks like this. And then we just run it through the city that way. That allows us to convert all those train tracks to bridges so that the freight line runs underneath the passenger line. And it's level coming into the city from the south. So anything coming up from the south, either going into Chicago or through Chicago, would be on level ground. And here's the other funny thing about it, because you notice that slope. There's one on the north side. That's right. So Johnsonville is is sort of the boundary. This literally works out to be the Illinois. This is. I'll have to this is the cheese curtain. So when you're in the greater Chicagoland area, you're on an elevated platform, and then when you cross the cheese curtain, you drop back down. So it's real easy to justify putting in this station because why are we raising freight traffic for Chicago to come into the station just to have to drop down on the other side? And it's funny because this area is not there's gradient in this area. I mean, I've spent more than enough years of my life in between Chicago, Milwaukee, Minnesota, Milwaukee, and Minneapolis. It's just if you drive from Chicago, like if you're coming from Pittsburgh and you're going to Milwaukee or further north or west, when you get into Chicago, there is a major section of highway that is just this. You're at ground level, what you think is ground level, and all of a sudden, yeah, no, exactly. Except it's an open air tunnel in Chicago. It's not an underground tunnel. It's all open air. So, I mean, I 100% could buy that, and I think it would look awesome. And then, really, the only thing that we need to do is get rid of this as a cargo terminal and just make it this one passenger spur here. Excuse me. And then I would use I'd use the let's see, how big would that need to be? Like about this, a little bigger. Crank up the strength. I would say I would gladly use the take all my money tools and just do a straight line going all the way through. But before I built that line, I would put the track in. No, because then I can't guarantee it would be. The problem is going to be making that path straight. I'd need a couple of guides through here, to make sure. Well, again, when the station moves, how that would look. But, I mean, that would look awesome. And, actually, is it available in this year? Let me check. Station. Is it in the building menu? Configure. No, not these. I don't even know what this tab is for. It's something I did put it in there. The platforms, cargo buildings. Okay, MISC. That's the underpass, overpass, and the roof. Yeah. But before we build this, well, okay, that's the funny thing. If the trains are going through Chicago, then damn it, man, that's a really good point. This should only be our Y station. We should be putting a station over here, and then when they need to pull out, they either back into here to pull out, or they just drive straight through and loop somewhere else. Yeah, that is a thank you for that. I completely forgot. So then where do we put the freight station? Is anybody even using this? No. This just goes out to here. I mean, if we do it down here, I mean, we will get catchment. Yeah, where do we put a freight station here? Yeah, so the what we've labeled Chicago Grand Central Station is passenger only. She's 8 tracks. We currently only have 2 lines configured. One is the Rock Island line, and the other one is the Rock Island Zephyr. And then wherever the North Shore lines start coming in, so that's going to mean either a North Shore local like Lake Geneva, Johnsonville, Milwaukee, or just to a loop from here to Lake Geneva to Rockford and back. And at that point, why not just run point A to B, Rockford and Lake Geneva? And then down to Gary. Yeah, down to Gary. So that's 3 of those, which puts our usage at 5. That leaves us 2 for the Milwaukee Road. Yeah, at which point we really only need one from here to Milwaukee, and then let Milwaukee handle everything coming out of there. So then where would our other line in here go? Down to Shelbyville or down to Fort Wayne? Because Fort Wayne to Cincinnati or Columbus down here, these are hauls. I mean, that's not an easy trek by any means. So I built it 8 track knowing that we would need it. Okay, that's okay. Bear with me. We need this to be 8 track because 8 tracks, 8 platforms, because okay, that's the extent of the logic of why this is an 8 track station. It's just it's because so yeah, and we're paying for it and we're paying maintenance on it. But the other reason was Chicago is one of our cities that had a crash early on that had to regrow back. And when I came in here to build Chicago, we had to delete all of this out of here. And I didn't want to take the chance that if we had made this just a 2 or 4 track station, that when we needed this later, the game built some really expensive property along here, and it would have cost even more down the road to get rid of it. So I made the gamble that it was cheaper to blow away a bunch of old huts than to tear down a skyscraper in a couple decades. That was a decision. Either one of those. So because with a giggle or future growth. But that's why this is an 8 track station. I made this a freight station thinking that wherever the freight yard goes, or it's the freight yard. Because if this was the freight yard, we have all this other space over here to put in other freight tracks, for cargo platforms. This is not supposed to be here. So yeah, it's Oh yeah, well, actually, that's a very interesting point. There's a mod on the workshop that gives you these. It's the more grander station, and you know, if you want to have the grander station, you need a little bit more um, width to the platform, or you put in a smaller station, and then you have to make sure that you push it further away from the street, so that when you go in and put in a different passenger terminal, you leave enough room. Because what happens is, if you're not careful, you pull this thing up and you're like, hey, do we have enough room for this? No, no, you don't. You gotta. That's $1 million right there. just so. Yeah, that's a pretty expensive if you don't leave enough room problem. Um, and because it's a vanilla station, when you put it in, you're not getting. You're not getting a menu of, you know, like here, with how many tracks do you want, one length, what main building do you want, that gives you something like this. Um, there's no vanilla menu to give you that. So it was, yeah, not the brightest move. Until we see 8 trains in here, and then we'll be like, we really planned that out well. That was a good move. We did a good job planning that out. But again, the problem is we need a north-south freight line to go through the city. And the question is, are we gonna, if we drop it in here, how many tracks are we gonna need here? Well, there's gonna be 1 or 2 for regular cargo deliveries to support the whole city, and it's the 6 goods. Um, there's going to be the one constantly bringing in um, crop deliveries, and then 3 or 4 tracks of deliveries going out. So I mean, it's going to end up being this. Um, Ouch. I mean, I would not run anything that big through the city. That'd be crazy. I mean, we want factory catchment because that's way easier. I mean, there's going to be trucks here because they're going to have to pick up all of the 6 goods and deliver them around all the stops on the city. Um, I mean, we could do this, and then, like, you see how this is lining up? We could, to the left of that street, we could tear up a chunk of that ground and let the tracks be visible, and then we just have to real quick turn them down over to those, to those tracks. Ladder down real quick. Okay, 100% with you. So we got farms here. I mean, we could, we can train it down to here and then just loop back out. I mean, we could. Okay, I'm not a. I mean, I'm not a fan of the, hauling all the way across the map as a way to make money. But But I would have no problem with us hauling this from here down here to Johnsonville, who does need the crops also. Yeah, no, what we could do is we could just haul all the crops here to Johnsonville, including, if we wind up needing a few more, pull from out here anywhere across Wisconsin. We could pull crops into here and split it. So Johnsonville takes some of the load and some of it goes down. Yeah, see, this is far enough away. This, we could just move this station up a little bit and support both of these. You know what this is going to be called, right? I mean, before I even finish typing it. There's our justification to use the liquid tank cars. So we could pull all the crops into Johnsonville, support Johnsonville, and have two Pabst. Yeah, where is Pabst brewed? I mean, I wasn't going to call it Haas and Pfeffer Incorporated, but at least with Old Milwaukee, there's a boxcar on the workshop to haul it. So all the food coming out of that factory, we can put into an Old Milwaukee boxcar. Refrigerated car and a boxcar. Really? Well, I mean, if you're a beer connoisseur, I will tell you that the one that I enjoy comes from all the way out here. If you know the name of what's out here. I don't know that one. Yeah, I don't. I am not a. Yeah, that is not one I do not know. But the one that I do know is Summer Shandy. And Leinies. Make sure I spelled that right. Lein. Yeah, Leinenkugels. Yeah, Leinenkugels. I spelled that right. So, well, I'm not a beer drinking is not my. I'm not a beer drinker by any means, but I do prefer. I found this out by accident. I was. We had an event in. Um, we had an event in Madison, and we were driving back to Milwaukee, and we stopped at some place on some road that was like, 1,000 brands of beer, some hole in the wall sort of place. And I walked in, and I was like, what do you have that's, beer but not beer? And he was like, well, what do you want to drink? And I said, well, I drink root beer or lemonade. And he was like, I have a summer shandy. I was like, here you go. And next thing you know, I'm home and we're looking for Leinenkugels. And it has been it's been a bit, there are times where it's a bit of a challenge. And then we were talking to one of the restaurants that we go to has those kettles to do small microbrew themselves, and they bring kegs in from microbrews all over the place. So like every week you go there, I mean really every day, because when the keg is tapped out, that's it, they're done. I found out that there's a cranberry shandy, which actually I have in front of me right now. It's It's called The Bog, Cape May Brewing Company. And it's another one of those, only available very short period of time each year. But yeah, I worked with people when I was in Milwaukee that were definitely, you know, beer experts. You know, with the, you'd sit there, I'd be drinking my Long Island iced teas, sipping one of them over a 2 hour period, eating a dinner, and, they'd be discussing Hefeweizens for the whole 2 hours, comparing different things, or their IPAs. And, yeah, it's definitely, I give people a credit who do not drink Budweiser. Not because Budweiser's bad company or a bad product. It's just, it's mass produced. Where's the flavor of it that you'd like as a beer drinker? You know? Yeah, we got a lot of, well, we have a lot of farms in Wisconsin that we can pull from. So I really do like your idea of supplying. Um, well, okay, if we supply down, can we three? So let's get a cargo terminal. I have to build a road just to make sure we get catchment on that, but. And we want to redo this because we want to build the pier going long way. Well, we know this is flat over here, so we might do some ground shaving just to clean this stretch up. But it's going to be hard to say that we got catchment, but I'm going to assume we do. So, yeah, your idea is definitely a good one. We can set up the docks here, take the catchment to the factory, shave this down so it looks better and is more accurate. Over here is not, this is out of control, but it's just it doesn't make a difference, but over here it does. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of fixing and shave this down. We put in the dock that gets us crops from Johnsonville. So we bring all the crops into Johnsonville, and we put we put this one over here. But then how do we get the food out of here? We're still going to have to truck it from here up to here, unless we move this. And again, if that's our why, but the only times a freight train in Chicago well, again, so if you take the North Shore line and you go up to Great Lakes Naval Station and you go down to the beach, it is a cliff to get down to the lake. I mean, um, you don't have to go, very far north, and there's definitely beaches have a cliff to get down to the beach, and then by the time you get up to, but again, that's why Milwaukee, or Milwaukee was built where it is. It's the rivers are right there, and it's low ground. You know, it's just funny that you say that because that's not the first time I've heard that. But that's the problem with doing any map. You know, do you want positionally things to be where they should be, or do you want this thing to be flat? Because it's very I'm not going to touch the money because right now, which I just want to get that bridge built. I want to stop saying that we're going to build a bridge across the Mississippi on a Mississippi game, and we still don't have a bridge across the Mississippi. Um, but yeah, we'll shave this down. We'll put in the Port of Chicago. That gets us crops into here. But now we've got food being manufactured. How do we get the food out of here? I mean, if we just send it on a truck, we can send it up here. And again, crops is a 2 to 1. You know, it's 2 to 1 on the food, so it'll be less food, you know, coming back up here to get dumped off at the freight yard. And there really should be no. All right, so let's take an example. So we're making food from here. Are we going to haul this food up into Wisconsin? Absolutely not. No, we're not, because we got plenty of stuff up there making food on its own. We don't need to go up that way. So where are we going to send this food to? We're going to send it down to Gary. You know, I mean, we could send it down into Fort Wayne, definitely. And we're going to put it on the Rock Island line and send it down to the cities going across the Rock Island line. And hopefully bring in the crops back, you know, from the cities that are on the Rock Island line. So I think we're going to get a lot of Rock Island freight bringing stuff in. And it's not going to be a big deal to divert it from coming down and put it onto here and send it up to Johnsonville. And we get paid as the crow flies anyway, so I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, that's the weird. That's why you can't go wrong with freight. Just haul it from somewhere to somewhere, and you're going to make money. Okay, so back to the freight station. If I would still put it here, you know, do a little bit of editing. I mean, maybe it's a tunnel across some of these houses, and then when it gets to here, we open it up at least across. Well, if we take it to the right of this street, then it's going to have to be a tunnel going under the tracks, and that's kind of what we don't want. We want the tracks to be a bridge. But we should definitely get catchment right here. There's a mod on the workshop that I thought I grabbed for elevated or sunken stations. And I'm pretty sure it's activated, but it might be that it doesn't show up till a later year. And that's why I'm not seeing it. But, you know, we can do a test station real easy. We drop this down here. Let's make sure this is at ground level. Just to the left of the station. Yeah, so this would be, we could use the road as a guide for where the building goes. So, yeah, stay down low. Put this here. Okay. Break out the take all my money tool. Come across here. That's weird. Okay, now how do we get from here into the city? Is this a 2-lane road? Yeah, she wants to build a bridge. We understand that. But can you come to here? Is that going to give us catchment? Why, yes, it does. So, you know, we can obviously do this better looking. Let's get rid of this for the time being. We can definitely get catchment from a station here, which means that the tracks going through the city, I mean, we could even move this over a little bit more to make it a, you know, perfect alignment, and run the tracks right along here. We can make it a tunnel, and then this stretch right here is, you know, we blow these away, drop the ground down so that it goes underneath these tracks, and that gives us our elevated passenger trains in Chicago. I mean, that's a it'll be going the wrong way, the wrong direction, and it's not going to be carrying, a Chicago, a CTA region, inner city train. So it's very wrong on every level. But at least we'll have one. I mean, that's so. Um, I mean, that's a thought. How much is this going to cost to destroy all this? Let's see. That's cheap. That's not that cheap, but I mean, this one is, we can be a little surgical with just this one. And yeah, we could take it right through here. We only have to get rid of a couple buildings here. That's more than this one, but I mean, it's not that much. And then once we're here, we could just go back into a tunnel until it pops back out down here. And then we've got ourselves, because this isn't Los Angeles. Hey, are we going for representative accuracy, or are we going for, realistic? I don't like to call it role playing. I like to call it realistic playing. We're trying to be realistic if possible. But it doesn't have to be. Let's move this back, by the way, before we. Damn it, we lost our deposit. So, cargo station. We're going to put that lined up right to there. That looks good enough. Yeah, let's leave it. We'll do this now. Because we've had to talk about this, and if we don't do it, there will be discussion later, and it might never happen. Okay, so now we need the road as far back. Put in a bigger building first. Configure cargo building. Give us a big cargo building. That's an 80. Okay, now. Can we delete these? We should be able to. Yeah, let's get rid of these things. And put in another large building. Okay, there we go. I mean, we know there's going to be a ton of traffic in here. We don't need the hinky building. Let's run this down here. Now let's get up and out of here in a nice sort of way. We could call this the Chicago River during St. Patrick's Day. Well, see, here's the problem. Is the answer to your question city skylines, or is the answer to your question workers and resources Soviet Republic? Which end of the spectrum of that? Or is your answer, the Long Island Railroad just came out in Train Sim World just a few months ago. I mean, that's such a, there's such a huge range, and yet what you're looking for, do you not want to, do you just want to drive the train? Then always Train Sim World and its, sister game, and it's, do you have $26,000? You can have all the DLCs, is the be all to end all. Give me the bridge. Let's do the bridge. Make sure we have catchment. Yes, we do. Okay, we're cool. Okay. Workers and resources Soviet Republic. I mean, you can do, quite a bit between, the train service and the bus service and the trolleys or the trams. And then on an update, Peter brought out the, the cable cars. And then on a more recent update, it's the whole underground. It's the subway underground, the Um, yeah, see, you got to work on that train line. Um, have you played the dispatch game? You know, the one where you're the train dispatcher? What is that one called? It's called Store Wish List. Because one of the guys on our Discord has been playing it. And yeah, Rail Route. Yeah, the train dispatch game. He's been playing it for the last couple weeks, and every time he plays it, he disappears for a day. He's definitely found that to be engaging. But again, that's a game where you don't touch the trains in any way. You know, if you're, I think, I think the trains are better in Transport Fever than they are in City Skylines. Because, there it's sort of, like the whole industrial thing in City Skylines is just broke. It's not broke that it doesn't work. It's just it's not part of the game. So it doesn't do anything. I mean, my last playthrough in City Skylines, it was a city of 600,000 people till the game started lagging out, and the oil just kept producing oil, in vast, huge quantities that you were hauling so much of it that the trains would just back up bumper to bumper on the train lines. Uh, you know, but that's not what that game's about. Yeah, it is. It presents quite a challenge. There's a whole, the scenario. It builds up over time. You've got you get to accept missions or contracts as they're called. We're going to be coming in here. We need clearance and track access to, get to so and so factory on such spur line every day on Tuesday at 12 o'clock. So it's you can it's like all sorts of possibilities that come into play. Um, I'm not an in-cab fan kind of person. Um, I mean, I watch people do it. I think that's it's great fun. But every time I go to do it, um, I wind up not staying there for the amount of time it takes. Um, like right now I have a vested interest in those ferries hauling something up and down the Mississippi. I don't care what it is, cargo, passengers, one person, a convicted criminal, the fugitive trying to escape from Minneapolis, making it down to St. Louis. I don't care. Just get on the damn boat and haul it down the river. Just one. Like, I have a vested interest in that. My last two gameplays in Transport Fever, I got to 60 and 72,000 people on the map. Um, the 60, I started having, well, I mean, I had some performance issues, but I started having crashes. And I finally got to a point where after 5 crashes in a row, one morning I was like, okay, time to start over. And when I started over, I went almost a week, and then I figured out what had caused the crash in the 60K game. And I was like, I can go back and fix it. And I was like, no, you can't. I was too vested in the game that I'm in right now. And I took that one to 72,000 people. And the mistake that I made there, I focused on passenger traffic so much that when it came time to say, okay, let's start hauling goods into the cities, the very first thing that I figured out was you've got to set up a train station for freight and a cargo spot for the truck to take it from the distribution center into the city. And it was like, wait, I got to go build 100 lines for that. And now I got to connect 6 goods to 100. Like, it was just, the math was so mind-numbing that I just looked at the map and was like, this is not supposed to be a job. Well, that's a good point. See, that's is it Railroad Online or Railway Online? The one where you actually build, chop down lumber, build the track, haul the stuff. Um, I mean, I've, you know, we have a couple guys on here on the Discord that have bought it and played it last year. The bugs in it were just so bad, and um, but it is multiplayer. I wanted that to be awesome. By the way, here's another one for you to add onto your, if you don't already have it on your Steam wish list. It's called, well, the one you want to add on your wish list is, scroll down, where is it? It's called Art of the Rail. Okay? It's made by this company you've never heard of called Rocketworks. They made a game called Stationeer. Okay, Stationeer is a fun game. They've been on our Discord to help troubleshoot bugs in the game. They're really nice people. The game, however, is not good if you play to, a certain level of aggressive detail. I mean, really, look at this map in Transport Fever. The average player is not going to go, okay, there are a few inaccuracies on this map that were made for playability choices. But there are people who they're never going to play a game that long or that far. All you have to do is go look at the achievements page and you see how far people don't play a game. So Rocketworks, I would be leery of any game they came out with.
Ring closed.
But that, oh, look at that, ring's closed. But then Rocketworks came out with Icarus, and they got themselves a ton of money, and they really upped their game in terms of game performance and graphics. Well, that's why Art of the Rail is on my wish list. Okay, I have all that turned off. Here's why I turned it all off. The if you leave the oh, I'm sorry to jump the gun there. Well, the reason that I have the the country roads to every industry and city turned off, because when you're building the map, it's an option. If you have it turned on, the cities just start spitting out vehicles to travel from to in between cities, and they start growing or stabilizing on their own. And the decision that we made from the beginning was we didn't want that. However, if you rewatch the first couple videos, there was no expectation that the four largest cities were just gonna plummet in size because they didn't have a road that connected them to anybody else. It was just it was crazy. New Orleans was supposed to have, between New Orleans, Chicago, St. Louis, Minneapolis, and Cincinnati. They were in this map. They were in the top 10 cities in the United States in the 1850 and 1860 census. They were supposed to be big cities. Within a matter of just a few minutes of this, when we started the game and was like, okay, we're streaming, let's go. Look over at the map, and St. Louis just went whoop, 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 and just turned into this ghost town with empty streets all over the place. So, I mean, that was not expected. But what was expected was that, you pick any city on this map right now, and, you go, okay, we'll go to Rockford. Okay, well, Rockford's got 118 people in it. Yeah, because it doesn't have a road. It's not connected to anybody. I mean, the game has built this road because it's thrown these buildings in, but it is not connected to anybody. You check its destinations. Like, here you go. The game did not build all these empty streets here. You saw it earlier with all those streets that we deleted in Milwaukee. That's because the city's collapsed. How is that chart going? Yeah, there you go. There's our growth chart going back. That's a big dip. And that happened in every city across the map. Yeah, that's the intermediate precursor before City Skylines. Is that the one you're talking about? My gaming a few years back took a bit of a slowdown because I picked up a hobby called going to law school, and so the also as the family got their ages changed as they grew, as they will. I winded up with a bunch of Steam accounts, so I have a lot of titles on several different Steam accounts, and I've used it for things like in Soviet Republic. I have too many hours. It's so I switched to a different account to play the game, just to not keep racking up the hours. Because sometimes, when you have those conversations about, hey, how many hours do you have in this game? I find it a little, it's a pin in a balloon sort of thing to the fun of it. Because, many years ago, I had a chance, like a big player of EverQuest and Asheron's Call, the gaming site that we ran years ago. Oh yeah, no, but again, yeah, well, see, that's the same difference between, you know, I mean, you take all the games in that series, we don't care if anybody dies in Transport Fever 2. You know, we don't care if they don't get to school. A city builder game absolutely does care. You're not making the right connections or letting people travel around. You're still putting down a bus and a bus route, but the logistics of, it's kind of weird that, you know, I mean, we can build highways here. There's curves on roads, all that sort of stuff, but there's much bigger concern for road vehicle performance in City Skylines than in this game. Like, I mean, if you were to ask me, well, which game can you build better roads in? I'd be like, this one? Well, I mean, it's a transport game. Aren't they concerned about all the trucks traveling down the highway? And it's like, no. I mean, it's kind of funny to build, any highway intersection in this game, and then compare it to what you build in any of the City Skylines or previous type games. Yeah, well, I mean, I would love to have that piece of that engine. You have um, any road intersection, where you try and do, lane switching, and this Peterbilt is barreling down the highway and suddenly just slams to a stop, makes a change, a direct horizontal move to the right or left, and then just woof takes off moving. That is that could be made better. you know but how is that going to improve the transport of cargo? And the answer is it's not. you know and I think that's probably another reason why most people spend so much time with trains here, because the trains, I mean, the trains are very really, I mean, where's that boat over here? Let's see. Yeah, give me that Mississippi. Like, wait, why are you doing this? you know why are you crossing your path for no purpose? Like, what? Why did you do this? Like, the routing of this, it could use some love. Oh yeah, I mean, it's just, um I mean, the one thing I wish was easier to do was to plop down key buildings, and that they had a value to the, and a value to the game. Because I mean, it's easy to go into the asset editor, and you grab, something. Here you go, the United States Capitol. You can choose the size of it, you know what you want to do with it. It gives you, um, 60 commercial, job space for it. So you plunk this thing down, I mean, it's going to be a working building. I mean, figure out how to get it in here and, make it work. This is way easier, in the RCI model of, city skylines. I think that's also a transition thing. You know, my biggest city, this the one that the 600,000 one in City Skylines, compared to the one that I did before that, my schoolyards look better. My cemeteries look better. Like, what? How does your cemetery look better? Well, because I took the time to actually build a cemetery. It's not just the the cemetery or the incinerator, the crematorium. There's a road that goes into it with a path, some flowers, some parking, some things that now you use the park thing and you actually make it a physical park, and then you come back a little while later and you find out that your cemetery has had 5,000 visitors in it, and they all paid $10 to go in it. There's just so much stuff that you could do. But in the end, its freight system is broke because it's not a freight game. Yeah, that's a really good point. All right, we're at 45, almost 46,000. Yeah, I know that this road was not here. Before I start the next episode, all this stuff will be back to, it will be cleaned up. Okay, tracks across the river. We are coming straight across. And we're going to use... Okay. This is not my preferred bridge. However, this is the most accurate for the era. Oh yeah, I mean, it's just... there have been several times where dealing with trains in City Skylines, you post on the forums or you look for what people do, and it's almost like a big huge sign where people go, don't. It's like, what do you mean don't? It's part of the game. It's, you have to do stuff to throttle the traffic. The stations will just spit out train after train after train with no cost to you, and it's like, but on a passenger line, you only get the couple trains you put down. But for some reason, freight is just the Wild West. So, yeah, this bridge is going to be single track. We're going to do a siding yard over here for staging for any traffic going across either way. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. My preference, though, is either Old Rusty, which is not what this bridge was, or this, which is way too modern. So, we're going to find ourselves coming back in a couple of decades and redoing this bridge, which is actually appropriate. I'm trying to stick to some of the actual bridges. This thing was torn down anyway, so I'm not that worried about it. It's just, I will tell you, this is not my favorite looking bridge. I'm not really sure what to do with it to make it look better. Because we can't really, I mean, what are we gonna do? We're gonna come down here and run it a little lower. Then we still have to get, if we run this bridge, it's still high. It's not as high, but I mean that is still a pretty high bridge. You know, I mean we can make the track swing down into here. I mean that's not a problem. You know, and then at this point now we're playing limbo. Let's go down another notch. Hey, look how much cheaper the bridge is getting. And it's going to be cheaper to maintain. And that looks a lot better. You know, and it's still... Well, we have a traffic problem here. I mean, we go through here. And here. Okay, so we got 2 paths for traffic. But, you know, is this a better option? It's certainly cheaper. We could build it right now. We just have to, you know, work our way down. I think this is way more period realistic. You know, it's just high enough. Plus, again, it got smacked into by a ferry. You know, so we're 3 hours into this episode, and this was it. We were going to build the bridge today. Unless anybody objects, if you have a better suggestion, are we going up to the middle one, or waiting for the higher one, or do we take the lower one? You know, it's what if we come up? Is this a shorter distance? No, it's not. I mean, that's the shortest distance between those 2 points there. The points being Davenport and Rock Island. I mean, we could move to this point to here just to make it just a little bit tighter. Let's see. So we got this tree, and then we got to get over here. So we could start it over here just as a difference. So we started here by this rock, and we're aiming for that tree. Yeah, well, see, we can't get, it's too low. Now we're too low. But we're way cheaper. How about that? Okay, we got 1 point through, 2 points through. Oh, sorry, we got to change the bridge type. Now let's see how it looks. We got pass through. I mean, traffic will flow. And it's 29,000. Unless anyone screams in chat that they object, this is the bridge I'm buying. We will just figure it out. There you go. We have a bridge across the river. All right, now let's connect it so we can use it. Okay. That ain't gonna work. We kind of knew that. But how do we get up to there? See, we come around. And we come around. Oh, we break ground over here. That doesn't let us get into the station, though. We're going to have to come out here a little more. This is turning into a very long tunnel. Okay. Ground level. Now we're here. Grab it. There we go. Okay, what are we going to do? We got to get into here. Oh yeah, it's they're just I mean again, I'm trying out to I'm trying, you know, and as cool as I like some of the different things, you know, it's okay. Let's see, loop us in. Okay, that gets us into the freight station. That is a horrible turn. I mean, that is not any better. Oh, that's better. Alright, so this gets us into the freight station. I don't know what freight we're going to carry. Why are we hooking this up? Because that's a good reason. Okay, so now we have a passenger line coming out of here. She's got to hook into here. You know, we could just put her right into there. I wish we could grab this. Just if we could grab it right here, that would be like so perfect. Let's try it. Can you connect up? Too much something. All right, go back to. Now, can you connect into this? Yes, you can. 6174. Good enough. Okay, so this gets us into Rock Island. You can loop out of Rock Island and come over here. We're going to give you a passing siding here for when you go across the bridge or when you come back. Grab the track. There you go. Too many curves. Come on. Just grab the track. Come on. Click. Okay. So there you are on that side. And let's take you right up to the bridge, to the tunnel. So we have room for later. Because I don't know when we're going to fix this later. Okay, you come over here. Cool. Give us some signals. One way, yes. Okay, here you are waiting to go on the bridge. You've cleared the bridge. Here's your midpoint. And here you are waiting to go into Rock Island. And here you've cleared the Rock Island track. Okay, so now we have service on this side of the river going across. Great. So now, sadly, you're going through a big long tunnel. And now you get over here. All right, now you go chugging across the river. Okay, you're across the river. Now get up to here. That's just... yeah, that's just... All right, Timmy, we brought you to the river. Good luck from here. Papa, I don't know how to swim. Well, you better learn quick. just dumping you off over here. Ah, man. Okay. This brings you to here. So we're losing all of this. I mean, we only bought it 30 years ago, game time. Alright, so now you come across the river. You come over here. You drop off your passengers, because we never built a cargo station yet. And you come over here. And then you come down. We got to get rid of that curve in you. Now you come straight down to this. Okay, now, how much further can you go? Come along here. And now you got to turn in. Okay, give us some signals. Okay, you're waiting to go across the bridge. You've cleared the tunnel and the bridge. You're back over here. Cool. You're at the station. Okay. You're cleared the station. Cleared the station. All right. You've cleared the loop. And now you're in queue. Okay. We have a connection across the river. Let's find the Rock Island Zephyr. Nope. Let's find the Rock Island Zephyr. Here she is. The Rock Island Zephyr. Alright, so she's in Chicago. She goes to the freight yard. She comes to Moline. She hits Rock Island. Okay, well, she's not going to go to Moline anymore. She's going to hit Rock Island. And then she's coming Davenport. And then she's going to hit Moline again. And now she's going back home. Okay, find us a Zephyr. She's on her way to Rock Island. Perfect. Well, technically she's always on her way to Rock Island. She's an express out of Chicago. So the odds that she's going to Rock Island are 50-50. Alright. First trek across the river. Let's see how this goes. By the way, I like that she's got no passengers on board. Just amazing. Hey, she's crossing the Mississippi. Make sure there's no one on board. Is it a ferry or a train? Doesn't matter. Make sure no one crosses the Mississippi. Oh, this is just. Someone's got to cross the river eventually. We're gonna crank this up a notch. We got a long way to travel with this thing. And apparently she's gonna stop for every local. Just a little. You're supposed to be the express. Just keep going. Well, whatever was in front of her. You know, I should have read the sign on the station. See who that was. know it wasn't Taylorville. It was somebody. Okay. Come on. Is there no... Well, I know there is no siding in between these two cities. Well, you're getting one now. Yes, we knew you were going to complain. Okay. And there's the you're on the siding signal. Oh, look at that. The Zephyr got priority. Cool. Okay, so we left Oaksville. We're on the right track for no purpose at all. Just because she can. She just chose to just not get on the left, stay on the right. You know, we're making very good time here. You know, we're doing way better than the Rock Island line. You know, the locals, because on this stretch of track they can only do 50 kilometers an hour. You know, but we're on the express. That's why we're doing 50. Just... Okay, here comes the fun part. We've been waiting for it for 14 episodes. How many people are going across the river? 13 lucky people have decided that they want to go across the river. Okay, so we come down here. And boom. We're on the passenger line. Okay, this is the staging area for passenger trains waiting to cross the bridge. This tunnel is way too long. And here we are crossing the Mississippi in a train. I know, who would have thought? Just talked about it for days. Okay, let's see what we get for these people crossing over. No, slow us down. We want to see that number. 30,000 to take 13 people across the river. Okay, we're taking 21 back. Let's see what we get. We should get 20,000, maybe 19. I'm so glad we didn't spend the $70 million on that bridge to earn that $13,000. Oh my goodness. Good thing we're playing on hard difficulty. We're going to be paying for that bridge. Oh man. All right, we're going to have to find some more easy freight lines to start setting up. The bills on that bridge are going to start coming in. But luckily I hadn't even thought about building it low until just then. It did not in any way occur to me. I kept grabbing the train track on this side of the river and running it as straight as possible right across the top. It never occurred to me until just then. Granted, those tunnels are way too long. We're gonna have to re-examine that downward spiral a little bit. I feel like this thing's doing a bit of a hump here. It's the first time I've ridden on the track because we haven't had a train over here. I mean, I built this track in, 1850, like episode 1. We were like, okay, first bridge across the Mississippi. Let's start working on it. I did not, my initial price I got was like 65 million. I was like, I didn't think it was going to be that much. I didn't think about how much it's going to cost at all. Okay, pick up some speed here, pal. You're taking too long. Get us back. We want to see all that big money. Big money. $19,000. Not everybody would spend $36 million on a bridge. To take passengers back and forth and only make, 20,000 each way. That's just takes a special kind of visionary. Just and this is actually supposed to be a bridge that handles train and car traffic. We're supposed to build a car bridge right next to it. And as soon as we do that, no one's going to take the train. They're just going to get on a horse and buggy and ride across. So we're going to scavenge from ourselves. Okay, here we go. First passengers headed east across the Mississippi. $57,000. Look at that. And now we got 8 people who want to go to Chicago. That is amazing. I'm not sure why we made so much more money carrying people back than we did the other way. I mean, unless my math was wrong on the number of people. I want to thank everybody who joined tonight. Thank you so much for your time. And the conversation's really interesting. So next time we're back, we need to fix those bridges a little bit. I guess the local should be going across the bridge. After we fix the bridge, we'll let the locals go across because we need to get that staging set up a little better. We just don't want them stacked, queued up for no purpose. Also, we might, well, no, because the Zephyr's going to stop at Rock Island. So, I mean, if we go Chicago directly to Davenport, no one's going to ride this train. So, I mean, that's sort of out of the question. I mean, she can go to Rock Island and then go across. Okay, so, yeah, let's go down the list here. Yeah, shut up, Huntsville. So we got to do a little tweaking on the bridge on each side. That's number 1. Then we make a decision on whether the locals cross the bridge or just the Zephyr. That's number 2. Number 3, we have to set up that port of Chicago, and along with the port in Johnsonville, and start bringing all the crops down to Johnsonville. And then set up the shipping line going across the Lake Michigan from Johnsonville down to Chicago. And then we have to, and then number 5? 1, 2, 3, whatever. It's 5. It's number 4, 5, or 6. It's in the list somewhere. Then we got to set up. Once again, man, this train going through this station does not stay on the right side track. It just wants to be on the left side. That is so weird. yeah, then we got to bring the crops down. Money-making routes there. And then we got to build the freight station in Chicago so that we can get the food out of Chicago, out of the jungle, and deliver it out. But thank you so much for joining. Everybody have a good